Let's get one thing straight, Andy Byron didn't get caught, he got played, you thought. This was just another billionaire slipping up at a Coldplay concert. Oh no honey. This wasn't a scandal, this was a setup. While the stadium lights flickered and Coldplay sang about stars and surrender, a camera zoomed in on a man. Andy Byron, a titan in cloud tech and data, building a reputation that seemed untouchable. The crowd oblivious, the band laughing, the internet exploding with gossip, but the woman he locked eyes with and kissed, she wasn't laughing. That woman was Kristen Kat, astronomer's chief people officer, known behind the scenes as the fixer, cold, composed, calculating. You don't rise to the top of $1 billion startup as a woman in tech without mastering the art of the long game. So why was Kristen at Gillette Stadium beside her CEO? Knowing kiss cam moments aren't random, they're curated, time-submitted. Sources close to Kristen say she requested the prime camera seats. Section 100 to Rossi, she knew exactly what she was doing, joking days before on a Zoom call saying, "Let's see if Coldplay captures a corporate meltdown." It wasn't a joke, it was a forecast. Andy thought he was showing off, bringing his work wife to a concert, innocent, professional, maybe even platonic, but Kristen, she wasn't showing off. She was dropping a bomb. The moment that kiss went viral, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, LinkedIn buzzed. Not just reacting, but connecting dots, the awkward body language, Kristen's slight tilt toward the camera, the cold smirk flashing on the stadium screen. Andy resigned within 48 hours. Kristen placed on leave, but not before wiping her socials clean, locking down her demons. Now here's the real question: why would a powerful woman destroy the very CEO she helped build? Because this wasn't love or lust. This was leverage. That kiss didn't expose an affair, it exposed an agenda. Kristen wasn't just sleeping with the boss, she was aiming for the throne.
What matters to the average person is a sense of justice. They're feeling the cynicism, the hypocrisy, so that they're part of the popular zeitgeist.
Because what happens next isn't fallout, it's a masterclass in revenge, betrayal, and feminine sabotage. All wrapped in designer heels, Kristen engineered the scandal, not stumbled into it. This wasn't messy office drama, it was a blueprint, a step-by-step power grab. Wrapped in stilettos, mascara, and quarterly reviews, Andy Byron was just the latest name on a long list of powerful men who thought they were in charge. While everyone focused on the kiss cam, Miss Kathy was 3 steps ahead, digging into Kristen's past. The real story started in early 2024 when Kristen joined Astronomer as chief people officer, the public face, HR-savvy reputation queen. Insiders say she walked into the boardroom like she already owned the building. At the first exec meeting, she took the chair next to Andy, never moving. It looked like loyalty, alignment, strategy. But by quarter two, whispers started swirling. Was she too close to the CEO? Why was she reviewing equity packages alone with him? Why did Andy cancel board prep calls but always make time for Kristen? An employee, Aaron, told Miss Kathy 3 months before Coldplay, Kristen held an all-hands HR meeting saying some get promoted by merit, others just need better lighting. A cryptic warning to executive assistants. Resigned quietly in April. Allegedly pushed out for seeing too many private lunches between Andy and Kristen. Kristen started controlling PR communications, even rewriting Andy's speeches. At one point, she sat in on investor calls. Despite no financial oversight, people thought romance. Miss Kathy knew it was a
person that demands order. King face is not trying to be sexist, you can call her queen face if you'd like. These people need order, they need everything to be perfectly aligned in their life. They're real
misstep secret. And quote, he wouldn't want on record. Kristen maintained an encrypted Google Drive tied to her personal email. The million-dollar question: what was inside? Rumors say screenshots, Slack logs, unsigned NDA drafts, photos, no confirmation. But legal insiders say she had plan B, C, and D. Coldplay was just the tip. One ex-colleague claims she pulled the same stunt 5 years ago at another DC tech firm. Different man, same smirk, same destruction, and he was just the porn. The Coldplay kiss cam wasn't lust. It was a power move aimed not at the public but at a woman 10 times more dangerous. His boardroom rival. Kristen risked everything: her title, reputation, LinkedIn legacy for a kiss, because it wasn't risk, it was a trigger. The explosion was meant to take down someone else. There was tension inside Astronomer long before stadium lights. Kristen locked in Cold War months with a female exec board member, former investor, who blocked Kristen's elevation to coup. Reason: too emotional, too close to Andy, too risky. Kristen played her best card. Andy himself. She got close, intimate, irreplaceable position beside him at Coldplay, knowing the kiss would destroy his marriage and burn credibility. When Andy fell, so did his enemies. Board member under fire for ignoring HR red flags. Investors furious about reputational risk. Legal scrambling over who knew what. Kristen silent, untouched, watching chaos from Hampton. Rental rumor had it Kristen had dirt on multiple execs. Not just Andy, multiple employees anonymously claimed secret recordings, password-protected folders. Logs on who slept with whom inside company IT guy quit 2 weeks ago. Access revoked after mysterious audit internal compliance officer on medical leave. Coincidence? No, this isn't HR, it's Game of Thrones and Gucci heels. Then the final twist. No one saw Reddit included private equity firm circling astronomer for hostile takeover. And guess who they reached out to as interim executive consultant? Kristen Kat, the same woman who kissed the CEO out of a job, might become the face of the company. From mistress to mogul, from scandal to strategy, from kiss cam to seat at the table. While the world gossiped, Kristen negotiated. While Andy resigned, she realigned. While Coldplay played fix you, she flipped the board. But power attracts enemies. After Coldplay fallout, company reeling, whispers turned accusations, secrets spilled, insiders spoke of shadow network. Kristen allegedly built web of influence, loyalty as currency, information as weapon. Employees feared her paranoia, thicken air. Moves scrutinized, alliances questioned. Some said she blackmailed rivals with private chats, secret recordings. Others whispered of covert meetings, deciding futures away from prying eyes. Andy became scapegoat, but boardroom battles intensified. Woman who blocked Kristen isolated under pressure, investors demanded answers, legal teams launched probes. Kristen remained untouchable, polished public image behind scenes, orchestrating takeover. No one saw coming, even as astronomer faced hostile buyout. Rumors Kristen courted private equity firm. Months before Coldplay moment, planting seeds for ascent firm that dismissed Andy saw Kristen as visionary leader to steer company. But great power means risk, retaliation, whispers, former allies, foes leaked. Documents, shadowy alliances threatening all Kristen built, yet she moved like chess master. Anticipating every move, 3 steps ahead, calm, collected, in control. Who really holds power at astronomer? Woman who engineered CEO fall or unseen forces, pulling strings in shadows, because in Kristen's world, trust is liability. Every kiss cam a move on board, reminder power isn't given, it's taken. Kristen Kat claimed throne. Dust settles on scandal and drama, final act begins, insiders whisper. Kristen's rise signals seismic shift in tech leadership. Woman who turned scandal to strategy, played game not by rules, but rewriting them. Some call villain, others visionary. But one thing clear, changed power dynamics forever. Private equity deal moves forward, eyes watching every move, every decision, every alliance, stakes sky high, players ruthless. Kristen not afraid to sacrifice pawns to claim queen's crown. Any Byron's downfall just opening gambit, true story, survival, ambition, relentless pursuit of power, world where loyalty fleeting, kiss cam more than entertainment, battlefield. Next time you see moment caught, remember more beneath surface. Behind scandal, strategist rewriting playbook. Kristen Kat didn't just play game, she became game, and this just beginning of reign. But to truly understand Kristen Kat's rise, you have to dive deeper into the shadows, where power games are played in silence, away from public eyes, where loyalty is earned not given, and where every alliance carries a price tag. In the months leading to the Coldplay kiss, insiders describe a company culture that shifted from innovation and collaboration to suspicion and secrecy, whispers of private meetings behind locked doors, where Kristen's voice carried more weight than her title, and where dissenters mysteriously found themselves sidelined and forgotten. Employees who once saw her as a mentor now viewed her as a puppet master, pulling strings from behind the curtain. A network of influence so intricate it seemed like every move in the company was choreographed by her unseen hand, from HR policies to internal communications. Even investor relations, Kristen's fingerprints were everywhere. But so subtle no one dared call it out, because fear of retaliation was real, and that fear wasn't unfounded. In an anonymous message to Miss Kathy, a former astronomer exec, detailed how Kristen maintained an encrypted archive filled with
They need everything to be perfectly aligned in their life. They're real black and white. This is right and this is wrong. So this makes this even more intriguing. The only gray in this person's life is in her closet. That's the important thing to realize here. Notice her eyebrows. If you notice
the
that
numbered versions tend to appear on eBay for way more than the original price. They circled back to the original topic and said,
what's going on in her life right now, but this picture was not taken when it's not a mugshot, basically. So this indicates very critical nature when one eyebrow comes slanting down. Now the fact that it's coming down the left side tells us this has something to do with a male. Did she have a critical father? Is she critical of someone that is a male? Does she have a critical husband? But she is hypercritical. And then notice underneath her eyes, there's some kind of deep lines kind of right in this area. These are adrenal lines. This gal was under stress long before this was going on. And there's just a little more
luxury of her Hamptons rental. She orchestrated the chaos she had set into motion, a puppeteer reveling in the downfall of her rivals and the rise of her influence. But power is a double-edged sword. And with every conquest comes new challenges. The private equity firm circling Astronomer wasn't just interested in the company's assets, they wanted control that Kristen knew would come with strings attached. Yet when they reached out to her as a consultant, it wasn't just a nod to her capabilities, it was a declaration she was no longer just a player, she was a key power broker in a high-stakes game that stretched far beyond the tech world. The question now isn't just who will lead Astronomer, but who will control its destiny. Kristen Kat's story is a testament to ambition unfiltered and the ruthless realities of power. In the 21st century, where strategy often trumps loyalty and where the line between friend and foe blurs into oblivion, she didn't just survive the scandal, she used it as a catalyst to rewrite the rules, proving that in the game of corporate thrones, the queen who dares to claim her crown changes everything. And as the sun sets on Andy Byron's legacy and the company braces for a new era, one thing remains clear: Kristen Kat didn't just play the game, she became the game, and this is only the beginning of her reign. ****